Alright, in this video I'm going to show you guys how MIDI keyboards work using FL Studio. So most MIDI keyboards will work in FL Studio. So I have a couple videos on my suggestions, but you can check out my Music Producer Starter Kit. I have links to the MIDI keyboards I've used and have reviewed. So I'm going to show you basically how it works. This is an Arturia Keylab 49. This is a pretty advanced MIDI keyboard. So if you're just starting off, you might want like a simpler or more budget-friendly one. You know, I had a budget-friendly MIDI most of my career, so no shame in that. And I have links to those again in the description. So basically you just like plug it up. It's a USB MIDI, so you just plug the USB cable into your computer basically. All right, and then it kind of lights up. I don't know if you could see that. It just lit up. So that's how I know it's on. Okay. So this is the Matt Lane Producer Hub. Okay. It's loading. MIDI device I've changed. It's actually kind of like frozen. Okay. So after that's done loading and your computer kind of like goes back to normal or FL, go to MIDI settings, make sure you click the enable button here. So make sure that this is lit. There's also some good ones here, some settings here that you may want to review. Note on velocity. I don't do this. This is basically like however hard you press on this, it actually affects the velocity. I don't do this in music production. You can. I've actually, okay, so I've gone back and forth having this feature. I kind of just decided to not have it now because it's just kind of extra work to fix it. And you can always just kind of randomize the velocities to humanize it, you know? So it just depends on what you want to do. Like, for example, if I'm just sending out like melody loops or like simple key loops, I might, leave this off and just make it more natural. But if I'm making a whole beat, I'm kind of like cutting corners in that way. So yeah, that's pretty much one of the main things with it. So it's plugged in, and you'll see like when I hit the key, now a sound comes in. And let me plug my headphones in because I don't even have them plugged in right now. Hold on, let me pause. Okay, so now I can hear it. I can hear the sound, and it sounds good. I think obviously it probably makes the most sense to use this for a melody. So let me just pick like a random melody sound. Let's see what we got here. Maybe like a I don't know, Shakura, if I can find it. Let me put this in alphabetical order. Okay, Sakura, which comes with the signature edition, I believe. If not, man, they changed Sakura. How do you pick the presets again? Oh, it's up here now. Okay. All right. They weirdly enough edited that. That was a weird sound, bro. I actually liked it when the selection was here, but whatever. So, you can just play. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how that works. And then you just record it. So I could say I'm just in the lab. I clicked pattern. Wait, what did I do wrong here? I hit this stupid button. This like does loop record. I swear, dude. Let me just try it again. screwed that up. Let's see how that even turned out. Probably off, right? There's a couple of things I didn't do right. This needs to be on like half beat. Let's just try to record that again. So like this is a part of music production, so I'm not even surprised that like mistakes and getting it right is all part of music production. Let's see if that ended up right. So you see like, so that's basically how it works. And then you can also use the drum pad here. It's on enter lag mode, I think, which is glitchy, bro. Anyways, you can use the drum pad too. So if your MIDI keyboard has a drum pad, which I always recommend getting, even if you don't use it at first, if you're like new, I find using a drum pad more fun than not using a drum pad. So you don't have to use these sounds. You can go to like an empty one and then drag in your own sounds. Say if you have a drum kit, I could like, some like, oh, do I have something up? I need to close my windows. Okay, so that's a big part of it right there. I could just be like, you know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy there. I'm just demoing what it can kind of do. That's kind of how the drum pad would end up looking. So you can make like, in one go you can make like a full drum pattern, which is what I like. And what I like is too, you can see the full, like I said, this is why I like using a drum pad, because you can see the full set of drums in the same area. Like you don't have to, if you use FL, like you don't have to like go to different patterns or different like rack tracks or whatever. You can do the whole thing in the same area. So I can just copy this, paste it here. So yeah. And I would say that's part 2 of it, is using the drum pad like this. Obviously you can play on it. And I think the playing part is, I don't like, just from my experience, dude, loops are big nowadays. I keep saying AI music has helped human producers. If you're making like original, straight up like original loops, you market it as such, dude, you can definitely like get in places. I think you can get placements like early in your career if you just like start doing just straight loops. Maybe I need to start doing that more. Maybe I will start doing that more actually. Now that we mention it, but anyways, yeah. So if you're doing that, yeah. Oh yeah, you can like edit it. So I'm like, boom. I could be like, remember the hi-hat and the kick don't really conflict. So don't be afraid to play them at the same time. That's like a word to the wise. But I will try not to overlap the snare and the hi-hats. That's just how I mix. Anyways, this is not a mixing video. Hold on a second. Okay, so I know I mentioned earlier like the MIDIs that I'm using. You can go to our music producer starter kit, slimegreenbeats.com. I'll work with Slime Green Beats. That's where I got this plaque. But yeah, I have like all the information here, like laptops, MIDIs. These are the MIDIs I've used the most and that I recommend. These are all 3. I had great experience with MIDIs. So if you're looking for a MIDI to purchase, you can even watch my video where I talk about which one to choose. So I'm not gonna like do that, but yeah. And this is the MK3, the one that you see in the video is Arturia Keylab. that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, leave a comment. This is Matt Lane, Producer Hub. You guys take care. Peace out.